Hey everybody, this is Triza. We're just going to go over the Joshua Phillips show here. Just wanted to immediately get to something right away where you're trying to combine creationism and evolution, which the creationists have been trying to do for years now, and they call it intelligent design. Exactly what you defined is intelligent design. Intelligent design is not true. Creationism is not true. Both of them, combining them and playing with the rules and mixing them with evolution to make you sound like you're doing scientific work is not true. So that's the first thing. That was your first point, is that you're trying to combine the two and that they both don't have to be separated. They do. They're completely different. Don't microevolution, macroevolution. Macroevolution is proven. It can't be seen because we've only been studying it scientifically for 100 years. The scientific basis would be thousands of years before you saw one species completely change into another species. But now that we have DNA records, you can actually track genetic code, and as we decode all the genome sequences of every animal, we'll be able to reinforce every single family tree structure of animals and mammals and fish and everything else, exactly as we've been stating them for years based on other characteristics. But every single different way you can structure the family trees and species trees of all animals, they all match up for some reason. So either God got lazy and decided to make everybody from similar genetic code, or there's some reason for them all being perfectly connected. And so then you go on and basically prove that you're just going for creationism, but trying to appease evolutionists so they won't call out your falses, that God must have started it all. And as I will ask every single creationist until they can give you a straight answer without saying he just is, what created God? Everything needs a start, as you say. So what's the start for your God? You don't have one, you can't prove one, you can't give a reason, you can't say that the universe came from nothing, and that's impossible, yet there's this all-omnipotent being who can do anything, create anything, be anything, and he came from just, out of nowhere. He can have been here forever, yet the universe couldn't have been here forever. So until you can uncircle that, conundrum, I'm going to go with what's scientifically proven. Carbon dating. Carbon dating is not the only dating available now. There's many different dating. I would suggest you look up tree ring dating that can prove by the matching of rings from living trees how old the tree is. We all already know, you count the rings. The oldest current living tree is over 4,000 years old. So obviously we haven't disproven you. But if you match tree rings up from different trees and see what the conditions were in different years, you can continue the line backwards. And if you search it right here on YouTube, and also from scientific data, you can see that the oldest continuous line of trees goes back 11,000 years. So young Earth creationists who believe the Earth is 6,000 years old, another nail in the coffin. You can't disprove it. You can claim that there's problems with it or whatever, but when every single scientific data source continues to point out these facts, there's a point where you can't raise your arms anymore and cry. There's problems with it. We have carbon dating, argon dating, tree ring dating, and I'm sure I can get some help out from a lot of other commenters on different ways of proving dating. The substructure, where things are buried, how old they are based on that. So eventually you can't keep saying these things don't work and only name carbon dating. There's plenty more than carbon dating. Anyway, we'll move on to your penicillin, which is a sign of your current day evolution that you'll sort of admit to, but you're calling it, again, a little bit of microevolution, but it's not actually necessarily microevolution, although with bacteria speciation I'm not very familiar with, so I wouldn't claim to say we're seeing different species of bacteria. But we've seen plenty of evidence for evolution. The main one is the overwhelming evidence to prove that we came from the great apes. We have 46 chromosomes. They have 48 chromosomes. There needs to be an explanation why we have 2 less chromosomes. And there's a very simple explanation that not only explains the problem of why we're missing 2 chromosomes, but also ties us together with the great apes so perfectly that it takes, complete ignorance of science to ignore the facts. The second chromosome in humans is actually the fusion of 2 chromosomes from the great apes together, and you can actually tell this from multiple ways, especially now that we've decoded the genome. You can see their exact matches, but also the telomeres that belong at the end of a chromosome. There's actually an extra set in the middle where the 2 fused together. Shouldn't be there in the middle. If you look at the 2 genome sequences, you can see the matching within 15 base pairs. They match against the 2 chromosomes that fuse together from the great apes. Again, can't explain that. Sickle cell anemia, another form of your evolving a modern day evolution, microevolution. Again, you're not calling it macroevolution. But again, this isn't truly something that probably would continue on greatly because it has a very large negative. So it's an interesting, thought, and obviously there's studies on it preventing malaria, but whether that would continue to evolve in the population, and also the fact that people move so much in globalization. I currently believe that we're not going to see much more evolution in humans because we, move around the world so much, and different people marry and have offspring all over the world with different races and everything. So there's no really, and with scientific advancements in medicine, things that would normally hold people back from making it to breeding age and having offspring doesn't stop them anymore. So humans' evolution is pretty much at a standstill, and we won't see much more. So let's go to the one that everybody currently loves, dinosaurs. Dinosaurs did not live with humans. Dinosaurs last lived 65 million years ago. Humans started living 6 million years ago as they evolved away from monkeys. There is more evidence than you can possibly know, and claiming a couple of cave drawings, which I will show everybody right here, just so everybody can get a nice good look at what these cave drawings look like. Sorry that that's a little bit out of focus, I think, because I'm shooting it off the computer there, but if you'll take a look, we'll scroll down, and this is what we're assuming comes from that. This from that. I don't think we're seeing what you're seeing. People want to see what they want to see, so they're going to say, oh, that's a dinosaur, and it perfectly looks proportionate to a dinosaur. And dragons in the Bible. People think they saw Loch Ness Monster in a river, so I mean, how much can you trust, 1 or 2 mentions of dragons in the Bible? And we're not trying to just discredit and say, oh, it's outdoor, but there's proof against it. I will cover that more in another YouTube video, but I'm running late on time, so I'm just going to go quickly over these again. What you defined is not a combination of the 2 that is accepted by anybody as the title you gave it. It's already been known, and it's called intelligent design, and it is a direct, indirect disagreement with evolution. You do not agree with evolution in any way. You're trying to paint creationism with a prettier picture so people will agree with you, but it's not true. So that's all I have to say about that, and if you want to debate some more, go right ahead and send me a video back. Cheers, signing out.